and welcome to this week's episode of Makosi Today. So February is one of those months I told you that we're going to be talking about love. We're going to be talking about love, and I'm going to have the people I love around me. And Ele Amodu is one of the people I met. Very heartwarming lady. I met her at one of my workshops. I really don't know why we gelled, but they do say you attract to yourself who you are, right? So I'm going to have Ele Amodu today. She's an author of a book, Stripping It Off. It's not what you're thinking. She's going to be talking about the book before we talk about dating rules. Ele, welcome. Ele, welcome to Makosi today.
Thank you.
So Stripping It Off.
Yes.
Are we talking about clothes? Or?
No, we're not talking about clothes.
Okay. Okay.
Although you can't do that, but in the confines of marriage.
Right.
Anywho,
okay.
So yes.
In the confines of marriage, she said.
So how to strip it off
is
just for literally anyone who has so many things holding them back in life,
right.
like themselves, emotional baggage, fear.
Right.
And then the mind. We know the mind is very, very powerful.
Right.
So if you have the wrong mindsets, you need to strip that off to reach your destiny, to reach your future.
Insecurities and so forth.
Yes.
So in the context of dating, why would someone want to read the book? Because it's a very short book. It's an e-book. We're going to put the link in the comment section, right?
Yes.
So in the context of dating, why would somebody want to take out 2-3 hours of their time to read the book?
So actually, the book is actually a short read. So you can read it in like an hour if you're a fast reader. So why would you want to strip off, let's say, a mindset or a bad habit in a relationship? Because you can take in baggage from an old relationship into a new one.
Right.
And not even knowing, because your mind is very tricky. It can sabotage you if you're not aware.
Right.
So if you read this book, you would see the fears that I faced. It might not necessarily be in the context of dating, but you can apply it to absolutely anything.
Right.
Stripping off fear.
Stripping off fear, not clothes.
Yes.
Stripping off fear, insecurities, habits, bad habits, not clothes. Don't go away. We'll be right back. So someone on social media posted that date all the bad guys when you're not intending marriage, and when you want to get married, go to the church or marry a good guy. But my thing is, I was thinking, you really can't date who you're not.
Right.
You know, in my coaching, I met you at a workshop. In my coaching, I always talk about we attract to us who we are.
Right.
So for you to attract bad, there has to be bad in you. And by the time you want to attract good, there has to be good in you. If you pretend to be good, you're bound to also attract a pretender.
A pretender.
Am I right?
Yes.
So when you're deciding on who you want to date, am I right to say we have to become that person that we want to?
Like for me personally, I remember a couple years ago, after coming out of a very toxic relationship, I had to sit down and analyze my life. And I was trying to write out, as a Christian, to tell you, okay, write the qualities you want in a man. So I was writing the man I want, but something said, no, write the man I am. You must become who you want to marry.
Exactly.
And the thing is, you attract who you are. It works on the law of attraction.
Attraction, yeah.
Yes, you can attract who you are, but one thing I know about light is that it attracts light, but it also attracts insects.
Ha! True.
So yes, you can be good. You're going to attract good people, but just because you're a light, there's so many counterfeits and so many people who see you and like you just because you're good.
So what to do?
So what do you do in that situation? You have to be able to discern the good in that other person.
The good in that other person. And then it leads us to the next topic, to the next tip. The right questions. We're talking about asking the right questions at the beginning of a relationship.
Yes.
Like I am off with people asking, what's your favorite color? like how many rooms in the house do you want?
Right.
Like what do you think are the questions we should be asking, say on a first date?
Right. So I believe that there are deal breakers for every relationship.
Right.
There are certain things that you cannot do without.
What's a deal breaker for you?
Like for me, you must be a believer.
Right.
It's non-negotiable.
Right.
There's certain things such as being kind.
Kindness. For me, like kindness is everything.
I need you to be very intelligent.
Right, yeah.
I need to communicate with your mind because you're not going to touch my body.
So how do you know he's intelligent, what questions are you going to ask him?
Like, where do you see yourself in the next 10 years? What are your goals for your life? What
Right.
is your vision? Where are you going to?
Right.
Can I follow you there?
Right.
Can I help you with that? You know, so I want to see and ask those questions
Right.
and pull things from you and just
Right.
listen to you talk.
Right.
So I would know where you're going based off what you're saying.
So basically, is to establish his value system.
Yes, his value
like,
system.
and his needs.
Yeah.
Because some people, like, they can have, like, my value system right at the top is kindness, right?
Right.
If somebody's value system right at the top is like money, we might not really gel.
Yes.
Because he's gonna do anything to get
To
that
get
money,
money.
right? And then also needs, because there's some people who need one of my needs, my primary needs is certainty. I like to be certain.
Same.
You know, I don't like to just we kick it, we wing it.
Right.
So those are some of the questions you sort of ask, right? To say
Yes.
like, are you when we talk about being spontaneous? Tell me
Right.
what was the last spontaneous. And the
Yeah,
other
you
thing
did.
I was gonna ask you, do you ask them how long their previous relationship was
Yes.
and why they broke up?
Right. I want to know all the details. Give it to me.
But when do we ask? When do we ask those questions?
I think going with the flow definitely helps.
Right.
You know, because you don't want to just break a relationship off because you have, like for me, at
Right.
first, I
Right.
had like my list of questions. You know, I would have an
Right.
interview with you. What is this? Where are you going? How many children do you want? No, but obviously over time I have learned to go with the flow.
Right.
You know, there are important questions. After your deal breakers are met, then you start going into such questions.
Right. And then when it comes to like dating, going out on dates, is there a rule? Do you have a rule to say, do we come to yours? Because I live alone. And let's say the guy lives alone too. Do we have a rule to say, do we come to yours or do you come to mine? Like, what's your rule with the zones we go on dates?
So for me, I definitely believe in going on dates. It could be anywhere. But with everything, you must set boundaries. Boundaries have to be clear.
Boundaries!
They have
That's
to be
the
clear.
word I've been looking for.
Boundaries, they must be clear.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
must be clear.
To
They
say, what
must
are
be
your
spelled out.
intentions?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are
Yeah.
you one of those people who
Yeah.
will have sex with me after we
Yeah.
get married?
Oh,
Like,
th-
what are
like,
you planning?
For me,
Yeah.
I have rules, I have boundaries,
Okay.
and they're spelled out on day one.
Tell me.
No sex and no
Right.
kissing. I know that's extreme for some people.
Right.
You know, it's not the Bible says thou shalt not kiss. No.
No.
That's just a personal thing.
Because kissing can lead
It can
to the
lead.
no sex, right?
Exactly. So I don't want to give room
For any of that.
anything.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So for me, that is spelled out on the first date, conversation, call, whatever it is.
Say, we're not going to have sex. We're not going to kiss.
Right.
We're just going to talk.
Right. And some guys up front tell you, I cannot do that. Highway, honey.
And then you respect them and then you let
And
them go. You don't
exactly.
compromise on the
No.
standards you've set for yourself.
No, and I will not. Yeah.
Okay. So, still in the context of dating, what do you think about traveling together?
So I believe traveling together is definitely great. I
Right.
don't have an issue with that. Again, boundaries. You have your room. I have my room.
Right.
So it gives you the opportunity to see the person in a different context. So
If they're messy,
if they're messy,
if
you know,
they're moody.
Right.
We've traveled together to
We
Kenya,
have, yes.
and you had an impression of me.
Yes.
Tell me.
so Makosi is very beautiful, very organized, you know, very on time. My goodness.
Grumpy, but grumpy in the morning. You're so kind, though. I am grumpy in the morning.
Well, you are a little bit,
Very grumpy.
but you handle it with grace.
Thank
So,
you.
Yes,
Thank
thank you.
you.
Thank you for accepting me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one, how do I describe her as a traveler? No, I don't
wanna-
think. I don't think you're not an on-time person. But then I don't think. I think I'm too. 8 o'clock for me means 7:45.
Right, right.
You know, and I think that also in relationships needs to be established. To
It has
say
to.
when you say you're gonna be on time, what do you mean?
What do you mean?
So that there's no what you call it? There's no
Friction.
friction because of time, right?
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Oh my God, you left out the part that I'm grumpy because I know in the mornings I am so grumpy. Yesterday I was talking to my sister on the phone and I don't know, she just rubbed me off the wrong way. I just hung up. So I hung up on her, and we've not spoken since yesterday morning.
Yeah.
Because in the mornings, I just can't handle. I was talking to my PA that I want my pastor to introduce an evening service on Sundays.
Okay.
Because in the morning, because I'm so grumpy.
And a lot of people are.
When the pastor is preaching, I'm back chatting. Like, he's saying this, and I'm like, no, that's not true. Because I'm so grumpy.
And I think we should accommodate everybody.
Thank you.
Like, for example, my dad, he does not spend a minute on the phone. And he doesn't say goodbye. He hangs up.
Boom.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, that, boom. I'm like, what? But now I have come to accept him because I know
because you know that's what he is. He prefers this, not this.
Exactly.
Oh, I love that.
So if you're in a relationship or if you're dating or in courtship, you need to understand that person.
So that's communication. That's a part of communication,
exactly.
right? Yeah.
And then some people don't communicate on that level.
Right.
You just have to pick it up. And a lot of times the females have to pick it up.
Wow.
Yeah. And just move forward.
But do you think it's fair, though, that you just have to pick it up?
It's certainly not fair, but it's life. And there's certain things you have to accept. Again, if you're dating and you get married, you're going to find out more about this person in marriage than in the dating phase, especially if you didn't date for a long time.
At what point do we introduce ourselves to our families?
Whenever you're comfortable. When you feel, like for me...
What if a guy is comfortable after 2 years and they still don't want to show me their mama? What happens?
Well, I think you need to set rules.
Okay.
Deadlines.
Again, yes.
Yes.
You say we have to meet your mom.
If someone who wants to date for 10 years because you met at 16 and you want to marry at 26, that's fine.
Makes sense.
If I am 45 and I want to be married this year, don't try to be taking me for 2 more years on the ride.
Exactly.
I'm not going to go with you.
Yeah. Because I really do feel that people are different when they're around their family.
Right.
You know, and I would like to see how you are with your mom, your sisters.
Yeah,
and,
your dad, if they're still alive. Yeah.
If they're still alive, exactly. So meeting the family for me is a big thing.
It's very important.
I need to know that you come from somewhere.
Yes.
And I actually, going back to Harry and Megan, I actually think that was probably their blind sight. To say they dated and they just thought, oh, we'll meet the queen when we get married.
Right.
And then the queen was like, no, boss.
It could also be that maybe if she met the queen before, there might have been a thing of, should we approve, should we not?
Yeah.
But if you know what you want, and you know, okay, my family's going to have to live with this, then you go forward.
No, but then the thing is, you know, I think, I really don't mean to digress with this, but I think it being a royal family, you have to allow your family to accept who you're bringing in because it's an institution that has been there for how many years?
That's
how
true.
many, like for you to have colonized half the world, how many people have died for you to be the Queen of England?
That's true.
Your grandchild can't marry just anyone.
That's true.
Do you get my point?
I do
So I
understand.
think also sometimes when you're dating, I want to know who you are in your family.
Right.
Like I also want to know to say like, what are the traditions, the cultures? And then if I can't live up to them, I sort of leave, right?
Well, it depends on your relationship with the person.
Sure.
You know, you're marrying the person and you're
You're not
starting
marrying
a
the family.
third family.
You're starting a third family.
You know,
yeah.
you're not. I don't believe marriage is the combining or coming together of 2 families, but more so the creation of a third one.
A third.
You know, respecting both, but you know, starting
Creating a third family.
a third
I really
family.
like that.
Because once you start your own family, you will still have third-party advice.
Right.
You know, but then again, you choose what to follow. You choose what to believe. And for Harry and Meghan, they have decided on what path they want.
They want,
by
yeah.
pulling out.
Right.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
I think I see whose side you're on. Anyway, before before we end this, into that camera, please zoom into her. Can you just encourage the viewers around the world who are, you know, in relationships or you know, who are at the beginning, in the middle, at the end. What is the core? What do you think is really important in a relationship?
I think what's important in a relationship, first things first, is that you know and understand who your source is. You know, God is your source. I believe that. And then through knowing God, you get to know who you are. Find yourself first before you get with somebody else. You know, don't stay in a relationship that is abusive or that you don't know who you are, because you're going to become that person. I understand the process of becoming one, you know, from other people, from books I've read, from people I've studied, you know, but yes, you become one, but you don't lose yourself in becoming one. So I just want to encourage you, find who you are. Stand firm in who you are, because you are so unique. No matter who you're going to be with or not be with, you remain you. And you're going to touch this world in a very unique way if you find you.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! I am so happy I had you today. And I'm going to post a link of where people will buy your book.
Yes, it's
and
on Amazon.
It's on Amazon, and I really hope you guys get to read the book and you give us feedback. I'm going to post a link. I'm going to post her Instagram, Facebook, so that you can follow her and be inspired by everything Ele.
Yes.
Until next time, take care of yourself and take care of each other. Subscribe, like, share, and turn on your notifications so that you don't miss anything Makosi today.